On the news tonight, Supreme Court dismisses appeal challenging President Tinubu's electoral victory. Vice President Kashim Shettima arrives Saudi Arabia for lesser Hajj. Plus, latest in the entertainment world. Hello, welcome to Ain't Lagos Channel 10 News at 7. I am Oluwabukola Akonde. On our bulletin tonight, ECOWAS has officially acknowledged the decision of the three countries of Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger to opt out of the regional bloc as from 29th of January 2025. This is one of the major outcomes of the 66th Ordinary Summit of the ECOWAS Authority of Heads of State and Government held this Sunday in Abuja. State House correspondent Musbao Dan Wahab reported that the authority, however, leaves room for medication and reconsideration by the dissenting countries. The report.
The 66th Ordinary Summit takes ECOWAS much closer to its 50th anniversary. Hence, the need for some stock taking. The body appraised progress made in its process of regional integration, peacekeeping, and infrastructural projects in member states. However, the chairman acknowledged some drawbacks manifesting in crisis and political instability in parts of the continent and the sub-region. And so, despite the progress, President Tinubu is encouraging member states to redouble efforts on the fundamentals of governance.
We must not lose sight of our fundamental responsibility, which is to protect our citizens and create an enabling environment where they can prosper. As leaders, we are fully aware that security is not a luxury, it is a necessity. Equally, enhancing the living standard of our people is not an aspiration, but an obligation.
ECOWAS commended the incumbent Vice President of Ghana, Mahamadou Bawumia, candidate of the New Patriotic Party, NPP, in December 7th presidential election for conceding defeat early enough before the announcement of the results. But more celebrated is the outgoing president, Nana Akufo-Addo, whom President Tinubu described as a Democrat for his commitment to democracy and the successful implementation of ECOWAS institutional reforms. However, the community got to a milestone on the decision of Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger to vacate their seats on the bloc. Months of mediation by several emissaries of the body, including President Faure Gnassingbé of Togo and Bassirou Diomaye Faye of Senegal, have apparently not convinced the dissenting countries to reconsider their decision.
The three countries will officially cease to be members of ECOWAS from 29 January 2025. The authority decides to set the period from 29 January 2025 to 29 July 2025 as a transitional period and to keep ECOWAS doors open to the three countries during the transition period. The authority directs the President of the Commission to launch withdrawal formalities after the deadline of 29 January 2025.
It's like a marriage. If you want to depart, you have to move your things out of a house, who owns what, and there are certain agencies under ECOWAS that are domiciled in those countries. So all of that has to be sorted out. During that 6-month period, the Authority of Heads of State has directed that ECOWAS redouble its efforts to ensure that these three countries don't leave. And the door still remains during the 6-month period for them to remain.
ECOWAS also commended Nigeria under President Bola Tinubu for what the Commission's president described as exemplary by fulfilling its financial obligation to the body up to date. From the State House, Musbal and Wahab, NTA News.
The Supreme Court of Nigeria has dismissed an appeal filed by the Hope Democratic Party presidential election, Ambrose Owuru, wherein it challenged the electoral victory of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Dele Atubi of our judiciary desk report that it is the third time his appeal is being dismissed for lacking in merit. The report.
In 2019, Ambrose Owuru filed a petition before the Presidential Election Petition Court challenging former President Muhammadu Buhari's victory in that year's election. Claiming that he won the poll, he based his petition on an alleged referendum purportedly conducted by Hope Democratic Party, HDP. The suit was dismissed by the different courts up to the Apex Court. The appeal court had even fined him 40 million naira when his matter was dismissed by the court. Not deterred, Ambrose Owuru filed a fresh appeal before the Supreme Court, claiming that he won the 2023 election and that President Bola Tinubu was ineligible to contest the 2023 election. When the matter came up in court, the five-man panel of Supreme Court justices led by Justice Wani Abba Aji took exception to Owuru's appearance as counsel in his own matter, prompting him to address the court without his wig and gown. The court also taxed him on the lack of documents in support of his claims. This prompted his suit to be dismissed with 5 million naira cost in favor of the fourth defendant, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
We have made a good case and they have refused to hear us.
The Apex Court said the lapses in Owuru's filings showed a flagrant abuse of the court process. In Abuja, Dele Atubi, NTA News.
Just before we go on a break, Vice President Kashim Shettima has arrived Mohammed bin Abdulaziz International Airport in Medina, Saudi Arabia. The Vice President was received on arrival by the Deputy Governor of Medina, Abdul Mohsen bin Yayef bin Ahmed, and Consul General of Jeddah, Ambassador Muazzam Nayaya, and other diplomatic officials in Nigerian Embassy in Saudi Arabia. Shettima is in Medina for visitation to the Holy Mosque of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be unto him, and the other holy sites, and the Vice President will also proceed to Makkah, where he will perform the Lesser Hajj in the holy city, Makkah. You are live on NTA Lagos Channel 10. Now let's take a quick break. After the short timeout, the news continues. Please stay tuned.
What are you doing?
I am trying to recharge this my prepaid. It's giving me problem. For some time now, I don't have light.
Chief, why are you still suffering yourself? Why not try solar?
That one, the one they put for me last time, give me so many problems. It did not work and they just wasted my money.
Chief, go for Viforce and Zantres American Tubular Battery. Original, with sun approval. They also have Super Zantres inverters, Zantres solar battery, Zantres panel, MPPT controllers, Tobar, solar fridge, solar street light, marketed by Easy Blessed Nigeria Limited. Visit them at F10 and 11 Easy Blessed Plaza by Alaba Rago Junction in Alaba International Market, Lagos. Viforce and Zantres America available in all leading electrical shops nationwide. Ring them on 0803-6830-557 or 0803-9644-115. Viforce and Zantres America. Solar.
Welcome back. And if you are just joining us, you're watching NTA Lagos Channel 10 News at 7. We'll proceed with the news. The theater commander Operation Ajin Kai has dismissed the claim by Amnesty International that since the start of Boko Haram insurgency in the northeast of Nigeria, over 10,000 civilians has died in Nigerian military detention facilities. Speaking to the defense correspondent on media tour to the northeast, organized by the Defense Media Operations, the theater commander says the pronouncement by Amnesty International is mischievous and lack merit, particularly as it comes at this ending circle stage of the counter-terrorism war in the northeast.
How many military detentions can occupy 10,000? When people throw out figures anyhow, have you ever seen 10,000 people arranged in a hall, in a place? I'm sure most of them have not even spoken to 1,000 people before. When you say 10,000 people die in detention, that's not true, just as has been said earlier on. The same figure they sent about the 10,000 abortions that here in the Northeast, which the National Human Rights Commission have absolved the military from that. Following that, they brought up this figure. So it's part of their imagination. I don't think there's anything like that.
Major General Waidi Shaibu reiterated that the armed forces under the leadership of the CDS, General Christopher Musa, remains professional in carrying out its constitutional mandate in line with global best practices. Now we move to the foreign news tonight. Constitutional Court to decide fate of South Korean president. Now let's join Daniel Achu for more details.
South Korea's Constitutional Court has begun impeachment proceedings against President Yoon Suk-yeol following his suspension for declaring martial law. This move sparked widespread protests and the votes by MPs to impeach him. The court now has 6 months to decide Yoon's fate, with protesters vowing to continue their calls for his removal. This is South Korea's third presidential impeachment, with the court previously reversing one decision and upholding another. Notably, the court will proceed with just 6 judges, despite having only 6 justices out of 9, with a preliminary hearing set for December 27. Moving on, Cyclone Chido has left a trail of devastation in the French Indian Ocean territory of Mayotte, with residents describing apocalyptic scenes. The storm, the worst to hit the island in 90 years, brought winds of over 225 kilometers per hour, flattening homes and leaving thousands without access to basic necessities like water and food. At least 20 people have been confirmed dead, but officials warn the toll could be in the thousands. Rescue efforts are underway, but are being severely hampered by widespread damage to infrastructure and the presence of 100,000 undocumented migrants, making it difficult to establish the true extent of the disaster. Daniel Achu, NTA News.
And to wrap up for the English segment of the news tonight is entertainment news, as Yemi Alade criticized for not showing respect to Popo and Aki. Now let's join Glory Godwin, who is standing by for more details.
Yemi Alade is trending online after a video showed her greeting Nollywood stars Osita Yeme, Popo, and Chinedu Kedieze Akin in Port Harcourt. So the clip shows Yemi Alade sitting on an armchair, hugging Popo and Akin, who are standing beside her. Critics have taken issue with Yemi Alade's manner of greeting, accusing her of being rude and disrespectful for remaining seated while greeting Popo and Akin. In Nigerian culture, it is customary for younger individuals to show respect to their elders by greeting them with a bow or by prostrating themselves. Despite the backlash, others have defended Yemi Alade, arguing that the criticism is unfair and that she did not intend to show disrespect. The meeting between Yemi Alade, Popo and Akin appeared to be a joyful one, with all parties smiling and laughing together. Moving on, top Nollywood stars including Iniedo, Femi Adebayo and Iyabo Ojo attended the launch of Toyin Abraham's latest film, Alakada, Bad and Bougie, in Lagos on Sunday, December 16. The event was part of a busy period for Nollywood movie releases, with recent premieres including Funke Akindele's Everybody Loved Jennifer and Mercy Aigbe's Teen Line. Toyin Abraham's Alakada, Bad and Bougie is the latest addition to the actress's film franchise, which has gained a massive following in Nigeria and beyond. That's it on Entertainment News today. I'm Glory Godwin.
And that concludes the news as we join Olatunde Atakeno for the translation of the news in Yoruba. Thanks for staying with us. I am Uluwabukola Akode. A very good evening to you.
ẹ kálẹ́ ẹ sì kúṣẹ́ àtòórọ̀ ìròyìn ló ń dé sí ti gbọ̀yìn láti iléeṣẹ́ tẹlifíṣàn ìjọba àpapọ̀ èyí tó kalẹ̀ sí Èkó Ọlátúndé Àtàkẹ́nù lóníròyìn yín. Ilé ẹjọ́ gíga orílẹ̀-èdè yìí ti dá ẹjọ́ kò tẹ́milọ́rùn tí ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú Hope Democratic Party kọ láti tako ìjáwé olúborí ààrẹ Bọ́lá Tinubu nínú ètò ìdìbò ọdún 2023. Adíje dupò ààrẹ ẹgbẹ́ yìí Ambrose Owuru ló pe ẹjọ́ kò tẹ́milọ́rùn yìí. Ẹ̀wẹ̀ akọ̀rin wa fún ilé ẹjọ́ gíga Délé Àtúnbí jábọ̀ pé ẹlẹ́ẹ̀kẹta tí ilé ẹjọ́ ti ń da ẹjọ́ kò tẹ́milọ́rùn rẹ̀ rèé nù láì ní ìdí tó péye. Igbákejì ààrẹ orílẹ̀-èdè yìí Kashim Shettima ló ti gúnlẹ̀ sí pápákọ̀ òfurufú Mohammed bin Abdulaziz ní Medina lórílẹ̀-èdè Saudi Arabia. Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn ènìyàn tí ó fi mọ́ gómìnà Medina Abdulmohsen bin Nayef bin Hamid àti Muzam Nayaya pẹ̀lú àwọn aṣojú ti ilẹ̀ Saudi ní ó ṣe ìkíni káàbọ̀ fún igbákejì ààrẹ Shettima ni ó wà ní Medina láti ṣe àbẹ̀wò sí mọ́ṣáláṣí mímọ́ ti Ànábì Muhammad kí ìkẹ́ àti ọlá máa bá òun àti àwọn sàábé rẹ̀. Lẹ́yìn èyí ni igbákejì ààrẹ yóò tẹkọ̀ létí lọ sí Mecca láti lọ ṣe ájì kékeré. Aṣáájú àti ọ̀gágun ní iléeṣẹ́ ológun Aden Kalu ti tàpá sí ọ̀rọ̀ àhesọ pé láti ìgbà tí ìwà ipá àwọn Boko Haram ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ ó ti tó ẹgbẹ̀rún 10 ènìyàn tí ó ti bá a lọ. Nínú ọ̀rọ̀ rẹ̀ pẹ̀lú akọ̀ròyìn wa ti iléeṣẹ́ ààbò ológun níbi ìpàdé pẹ̀lú àwọn akọ̀ròyìn ti ẹkùn Àrẹwà, ó ṣàlàyé pé ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kìí ṣe òótọ́ rárá nítorí pé ẹ̀ṣọ́ aláàbò wà fún dídáàbòbò ènìyàn àti dúkìá pátápátá ni. Ọ̀gágun àgbà Wáídì Ṣáíbù wá fi ọ̀rọ̀ ìdánilójú síta pé iléeṣẹ́ ológun lórílẹ̀‐èdè yìí lábẹ́ ìdarí ọ̀gágun pátápátá Christopher Musa ti ṣetán láti rí i dájú pé àwọn kò fà sẹ́yìn nínú ṣíṣètò ààbò èyí tó péye lórílẹ̀‐èdè Nàìjíríà. Tó a ò ní rí jù báyìí lọ fún ìròyìn wa ti àṣálẹ́ òní. Ẹ jẹ́ ká pàdé Jésù tán Moses fún ẹ̀dá ti Ògùn Ọlátúndé Àtàkẹ́nù lóníròyìn yìí ó dàárọ̀.
mi kudo jayi mi kudo torido mi kwabo lele son NTA Jésù tán Moses lele no o we dohwe daho pete Òtògbó Nàìjíríà tán we ko donu bon o we yiro me o me yin nu doto na o to dogba mi ndi Hope Democratic Party bina Ambrose Owuru ko yiro o Òtògbó Bola Ahmed Tinubu do inyome ma jẹ tẹmẹ taidi ome imukoto to ibra hewa ito Òtògbó Nàìjíríà tán to ohwe 2023 tọmẹ nesisa beto Délé Àtúnbí iye ohwe lọ to egbe ego do o meyi ohwe yiroto lọ ene Ambrose Owuru we ko yiro ohwe o Òtògbó Bola Ahmed Tinubu do imayi wo wayome yinu kan to iblalome do emi we yu me je oteme to we iblalome bo e ko yiro we lotita dai o yiro awito mo kede atoto we ko wa yiro to din ti gba to awito si we yiro lo me we yu de ye ko so sabwe do ko na wosu do o de he holodo we yu me de ma je do de he ni do taide wosu henyo kwenyiro hodoton to gbeme bo yesa o sa na kwe ya kwe susu ebio million kande mo wedo esu to wedo menation kwenu ma hokona ne wa so se do nkan so yo we hoda hopete to he wa da we to egbe to din bodo onu he eko to we wa no you de ma ya fai to o send you o bade goto o to gato Kashim Shettima ba ko yo de ko jere do Mohammed bin Abdulaziz sin agahun direct to Madina ene to Togo Saudi Arabia to me bade goto to gato wa yo de ye yo jono to no e jere so agahun me so to bon o me yo bade goto ayi mataga Madina to ene Abdul Amor bin Nayef bin Hamed bodo mehin o ternato na o aimate ene jedaton bodo o mehin o ternato Mozam naya bodo yemehin o nukoto hein o ternato so tubo Nigeria to me tubo Saudi Arabia to o yo de yi o jono o mehin bodo goto Shettima to o jono mi ba do tubo Saudi to me well koti tin do eyo me hena ibayo tito he hajj bebito hena lo umra do Maka to no wala ko don to no he ena no o to la me kaka do leko o ye me awon so be he ni de he ro hadin kai don he to avunukun pe o ye me danu wa to Boko Haram le ton to akewaji o to gbe ton to din when you dey no o wa yiro me de he ko yiro to bon ao al logona gbe he no di Amnesty International e do ya do o beto susu when you dey ye ko wole bo ko su hodo bo ye ko so yin me te so ba yin matin to o gapa he o awon gbele to me to o akewaji o to gbe ton to he to hodo na le satole o me yo gakuko no na o awon gbe so pe to gbo Nigeria ton to akewaji o to gbo Nigeria ton ye de he to hodo e to ya do o ye me do hodo le o ye de ma yo nu he e to ri do nu fu do we eji na e ma fi bai do beto e so photo to nu awomo o ye de ye do ye si kan be to fi do po do ene yin o lalo dido de he a yime he danu wa to le to dido to ko na wa gbe to gbo Nigeria to de ko wa moto to ta wonu dai ti pa bo yin de ma han fo yi awon gan ene white shaibu to ko to me zido dinu deji do to gandu me yin onu koto na awon gbelo ene Christopher Musa to de no azo iton we do di azo mo kere buto nuwa mo selio to de ko yan na de medo na oye me awon tole e ha fo na no to ja ye ka je so ko no sin kale ko to di do